They seem apparently inseparable, the president and the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, but the latter is having to turn his attention away from politics and back to his businesses after a series of events saw shares in Tesla tank. Its market share in Europe in particular has slumped. Is this making shareholders jittery? Ross Gerber runs Gerber Kowalski Wealth Management firm, which currently holds a reported $62 million worth of Tesla shares. Thanks for coming on the programme, Ross. How happy or otherwise are you with the recent performance of those shares?
Obviously, it's been a bad year for Tesla to start, coming off the heels of last year, which was basically bad until the election. And then we got a rally, which, was predicated on maybe this would be good for Tesla now that Donald Trump is president, which I was pretty confused by because Trump's policies are actually pretty detrimental to Tesla and the environment. And then followed by the decline that we've seen now, that reality has come back to Tesla, and there's a complete rejection from so many of its core customers to buy their products.
Is Elon Musk the right man to turn the fortunes of Tesla around, in your view?
Yes and no. I mean, I think partially it's in Elon's control if he wants to turn the fortunes around, if he can, change his rhetoric, maybe send out some positive messaging for a change, really get back to work at Tesla, because there's actually many executional issues that Tesla has that they need to focus on, especially the launch of this cab and getting full self-driving to work correctly. So if Elon Musk was coming back to Tesla full time, I wouldn't be upset, but it wouldn't change the fact he's still turning customers off.
So what's he done wrong, in your view?
Well, let's start with supporting, right-wing extremism, the AfD in Germany, Donald Trump in the United States, by taking such a political position. Politics doesn't sell anything anymore. Politics has become very divisive. Even your previous guests suggesting that Israel is committing genocide is absurd. And so, we have this constant back and forth between politics, and it doesn't sell products. And so, we've seen this in a lot of different companies that have just chosen to sidestep getting involved with any of this, which is the smart business decision. But Elon has done the opposite, has taken a role in the administration and a very controversial role on top of that.
What did you make of that, how are we going to put this politely, the gesture he did in the opening bars of the Donald Trump presidency, that rally?
Well, I always say if somebody's arguing whether or not you gave a Hitler salute, you gave a Hitler salute. So, it is what it is. And I don't think anybody's confused about Elon's personal right-wing views that are borderline extremist in my mind, and certainly white supremacy at the least and Nazism at the worst. But, once again, I don't want to get into
supremacist?
Excuse me?
You think he is a white supremacist?
I don't know what he is, to be honest. It doesn't really matter to me what he is. What matters is that I'm a Tesla shareholder and we sell vehicles and eventually cab rides, and the president and CEO of the company is just saying totally divisive things that are insulting, and once again, and completely turning off the actual customers. The numbers out of Europe today are horrendous. They're horrendous. People just are not buying the cars. And I understand why. And here in the United States, we're seeing vandalism and attacks. I drive a cyber truck, and, quite frankly, there is a part of me that's worried somebody might vandalize my truck. And I'm in Santa Monica, which is like the most liberal pro-Tesla area in probably the world. And people basically drive around with their Teslas with their heads down because they're embarrassed by Elon.
It's worth saying that European sales of Tesla down 43% so far this year. Ross, thank you for coming on the programme. Ross Gerber, Tesla investor who, as you heard, is not particularly happy with the direction that Elon Musk is taking that particular company.